Coming up on 5 Minute News. Europe and US facing new round of shutdowns amid virus surge. Millions of mail ballots not yet returned in key states. And Philadelphia pledges better response after black man's death. It's Thursday, October 29. I'm Anthony Davis. A new wave of lockdowns and business closings swept across France, Germany, and other places in Europe on Wednesday as surging coronavirus infections there and in the US wiped out months of progress against the scourge on two continents. French President Emmanuel Macron declared a new nationwide lockdown starting Friday, saying the country has been overpowered by a second wave. Many doctors had urged the move, given that 58% of the nation's intensive care units are now taken up by COVID-19 patients. In Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel announced a 4-week shutdown of bars, restaurants and theatres. We must act, and now, to avoid an acute national health emergency, she said. We are deep in the second wave, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said. I think that this year's Christmas will be a different Christmas. Only the US, where practically every state is seeing a rise in cases, is there no national leadership, as the president denies the figures and falsely claims the country has rounded the corner. The virus has killed more than 250,000 people in Europe and over 227,000 in the United States, according to the count kept by Johns Hopkins University. The long-feared surge is blamed in part on growing disregard for social distancing and mask wearing, as well as the onset of cold weather, which is forcing people indoors, where the virus can spread more easily. In the US, more than 71,000 people a day are testing positive on average, up from 51,000 2 weeks ago. Europe seemed to have beaten back the virus over the summer. Its success was seen as a reproach to the United States and an example of what the US could accomplish if Americans would just stop their political infighting and listen to the scientists. Just days before the presidential election, millions of mail ballots have yet to be returned in key battleground states, and election officials warn that time is running out for voters who want to avoid a polling place on Election Day. At least 35 million mail ballots had been returned or accepted as of early Wednesday. That surpasses the 33.3 million total mail ballots returned during the 2016 election, according to the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Yet an estimated 1.9 million ballots were still outstanding in Florida, along with 962,000 in Nevada, 850,000 in Michigan, and 1 million in Pennsylvania. Combined with early in-person voting, at least 71.5 million votes have already been cast, more than the total number of advance votes 4 years ago. Many states made it easier to request a mail ballot this year amid the coronavirus pandemic and concerns about crowded polling places on Election Day. One challenge has been ensuring that voters who are not used to voting absentee return their ballots in time to be counted. Compounding concerns are mail delivery delays that have persisted across the country. Delivery data from the US Postal Service does not offer much assurance that these ballots will reach their destinations if they've not already been mailed. Throughout the fall, as ballots moved through the postal system, the agency has consistently missed its goal to have more than 95% of first-class mail delivered within 5 days. In Florida, 4 million of a record 6 million mail-in ballots requested had been returned as of this morning. The state was on pace to eclipse the return rate of 2016. To be counted in Florida, ballots must be received by 7 p.m. on Election Day. Philadelphia police pledged to release 911 tapes and police body camera footage in the near future in the fatal shooting of a black man with a history of mental health problems, a death that prompted protests, widespread vandalism, and an overnight curfew days before the election. Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw pledged to release the video evidence once the department shares it with the family of Walter Wallace Jr. Outlaw, who came to Philadelphia less than a year ago from Portland, Oregon, lamented at a news conference yesterday that her department lacks a mental health unit or consistent way to coordinate police calls with specialists. Police say they fatally shot Wallace on Monday after he ignored orders to drop a knife, a death that intensified already heightened tensions in the presidential battleground state. Wallace's mother said she warned police on Monday afternoon that her son was in the throes of a mental health crisis. Both Outlaw and the mayor pledged to address the lack of coordinated mental health services. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Please subscribe, rate and review us at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an independent production covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering unbiased, verified and truthful world news daily.